Hi YouTubers, it's Keith. What I'm going to show you is just a relatively short video about flushing or doing a pour through test. Now, just to start, a pour through test is passing pure water through, which I use RO, and it's coming out at about 7, which is neutral. So I'll put that to one side. Now all you're meant to do is, instead of flushing your pots willy-nilly, you know, whenever you think that they need flushing, that's the old adage, isn't it, with orchid growing? Oh, you must flush your pots, you must flush the fertiliser, the old fertilised deposits, solids, whatever they may be, because you don't know what they are, because you can't see what's in the pot. You only know what you've poured in. But with rain mix, they recommend no flushing. I've used rain mix 7 years now, and I've never flushed my pots once, and these will tell us how much solids, with the TDS pen, that measures solids, of what is in that pot. That doesn't measure what's in the pot, it just measures total dissolved solids. That's why it's called a TDS, total dissolved solids. Could be solids, could be anything. It could be just all calcium, but it's not going to be. But if you were measuring calcium, if you knew what the solids were, which we don't, we know what's in the rain mix. So if you know you've been feeding with rain mix and nothing else and pure water, you know it's the deposits left from the rain mix. We know that by feeding rain mix, the recommendations, it comes out roughly around about 350 ppm. Pure water, RO water is normally neutral 7. And if your RO unit is doing as it should do, it should be quite low, 11 ppm. Okay, if your RO unit is playing up, that will creep up. If your membrane split, that will creep up, but that's pretty low. That's about 10s, 11s okay for me. I don't mind that. That's quite low. So yeah, so this will give us an indication of actually whether you need to flush or not, to save your flushing, because actually you might want solids, if you like, in the pot. So it's some nutrients within the pot, within the root core, within the root zone. Just because you're pouring 350 ppm through there, bearing in mind, this will give you a good insight. I water these Masdevallias whenever they need watering. There's always feed in my water, always. So that notion alone, people might say, oh, but that's just too much feed. There's going to be loads of solids in there, because that's what we've been told. That's what we've been told over the years. If we fertilise orchids, we must flush the pots. Now, with rain mix, you're being told you do not need to, and I haven't for 7 years. These pots have never been flushed. That medium is probably a year old. That probably that moss. It's probably a year or two that's getting on. More, maybe. So let's do a test, a pour through test. It's not a flush, because I've never flushed in all of my greenhouse. I've never flushed with pure water. Now look at the water saving there. If you're on a water meter, in 7 years I've saved on flushing. How many gallons of water do you think I've saved by not flushing through this greenhouse, these pots? But what I do, and I know what acorns do, they pour a lot of water through their pot. So when they water, or when I water, I water. Okay, I don't go, what I do, I water. Now, I know acorns do similar. I know when they water, they say they get soaked. Okay, I don't need it yet, but hey. Good flooding. You hear the water flooding through? So what that does, it gives them neutrals and it chucks out what was already in there. Maz's, sorry, Neo's, that one's dry. You know, I will just go with a fine rose on these. Hey, I'm in a greenhouse and get that privilege. I'm lucky, actually, I suppose. Quite lucky being in a greenhouse. But if you can do it over a bucket or replicate that in some way, you're on to a winner. So that's our water, and then let's have a look. This one's already been done. Did a pour through. with pure water. I've already tested at 7, pH of 7, and a TDS of, oh no, sorry, a TDS of 11. So we know the starting values of the pure water. I poured water through this pot into that tub, so you get, what is it, about 100 ml there. So let's just test that. So we've gone from 11 to 104. Okay. pH. Let's test your pH as well. Let's give this a minute to stabilise, which I've not really got enough time really, but let's have a give it a jiggle. pH is a bit, be careful with pH sometimes, because, and this is why at the end of this, why I'll conclude what I conclude, that actually you trust your feed and what it's doing, and actually what I'm doing now isn't really needed, because I repot about every year, every 2 years, and so I know the medium's relatively fresh. I know what the plant's getting, and I know it doesn't need to be flushed, because look at that value there. 95, 94 ppm is within that root zone. There's nothing wrong with that. You could say it's too low. So you could say, some tests, pour through tests that I've seen, they'll say, oh, well, you need to up your feed strength so you've got more solids, salts, and you know, salts is a bad word. It's solids, because salts, people think of table salt, and it's not. It's solids. Okay. What are we on now? 6.7. That seems quite high to me. pH of 6.7 in the root zone. 6.6. Okay. Well, we'll go for 6.6. So we've gone from 7 to 6.6. So that's saying that in there is 6.6 pH, and there's 110 parts per million in there. So what we'll do a pour through test with this moss. Probably put a bit too much in there really, and I might do this one again. Okay, we're going to rush this because I want to make the video too long. Okay, solids. Oh, can't even see it. 265. Rain mix comes out about. Rain mix comes out at about 350 ppm. 6.5, 6.4, 6.3. We're going acid here. Maybe give that a minute. We might be going down to about 6 there. 6.2, 266 ppm. But we're still going to be acid. 6.1. Oops, break it. Oh, that's took a plunge, hasn't it? That's took a plunge. I did one once and I was somewhere down with moss that had been in it for 3 years. It was really acid. Right, so now what that's done, I damaged my pH pen. That was a bit of a plunge. I wanted when I shook it. 4.5. So you could say in 300 ppm there's getting a number of solids in there, which I wouldn't be too worried about that, and 4.6 pH. So what are the actions? Look at the medium, look at the plant. Plant's not doing great, it rotted over winter, that might be the reason. You look at the moss, there's a lot of algae in there, it's going green, the chances are that moss has gone. So what would you do? You repot. I won't flush that, it's no point. Okay, that was a good test. Quite a nice example, that one. So you dump that moss, repot. just do this one again. There might not be enough water there, but hey, we'll try it. So to conclude, I know it's difficult because I know this. I've already done this sort of stuff and I've been there where a lot of you people are. So sometimes it's very hard to trust things. Bearing in mind, I've never flushed these pots. I've shown you our water and look how many solids are in that one. 300 ppm, well not even that. I won't be worried about that because that's what you're feeding roughly. And that's what's, so it's no problem, you're not going to burn your roots. If that was up to 4, 5, 600, yeah, I'd be worried at that because it's too high. See what this one's doing? 97, very low in solids, no problem. What's this one doing? 5, 6. Looking about 5.6 at the root zone. Again, I won't be too worried about that. So, and what I want to warn you as well, pH meters, pH pens are absolute pig. And this is why I know sometimes it's not best to dabble, to raise your solutions. It's because pens can be a pain in the butt playing up. I know that for a fact. I've been there, swapping, testing them with the solution, making sure it's the right pH. 5.7 now, and it's meant to be a certain temperature they're calibrated at. So 5.7, I don't have a problem with that. It's perfect. 5.8 then when I took it out. So to conclude, there's your pour through test. Don't need to flush. If you use a different fertiliser other than rain mix, then you might need to, because you might be overdoing it, but you are not going to a rain mix. I've never had high solids within the pot, and that is why you do not get salt deposits in the medium, and that is why you don't need to flush with rain mix. Okay, and you don't need to flush. Hope that's been of some help to some of you. Please click the subscribe button, like the video. Hope it's been of help. If you've got any questions, please ask, and I'll revise and I'll revisit it or answer the questions down below. Thank you. Goodbye.